Hi and welcome to this Team QSW video, and this is a special video. Here we are at the National Windsurf Festival 2012, and we've got a very special guest come onto the team bus. Roberto Ricci is here from RRD Boards. Roberto, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Come across for the weekend?
Absolutely.
How are you finding it here? The sun's shining.
Beautiful, really strange weather for England, so I'm really impressed with that.
We booked this for every National Windsurf Festival, and it's absolutely superb. But what I wanted to get you here to talk about today is you've been in the business a long time.
Yeah.
How did you get into it? How long ago was it? How did it all happen?
Oh yeah, it's been a while. Huh? It's been 1981. It was like the windsurfer years, when everybody like brought windsurf boards from California.
Yeah.
And we all ended up in trying this new California style sport.
Okay.
And that's when I started. And the classic story, I got hooked up with a local shop selling boards, repairing boards for these guys for a couple of years, and then little by little through my university years, I got in touch with a gentleman that happened to be the owner of a brand that had a custom factory.
Yeah.
So he told me that I would like you to ride our boards and like to get feedback from you, and maybe you start writing some articles.
Okay.
About our boards and the way the custom boards are different from the production boards. So I got really involved with it. That's between 1984 and 1985.
Okay, so there's a lot going on then, a lot of things.
Yeah. Windsurf was pretty big, generally worldwide. The market we're talking about 350,000 boards sold per year.
Wow.
You could find big boards sold at the gas station around the corner, and it was really a big sport coming up.
Yeah.
So I was really lucky enough to actually
be a part of that whole scene.
Be a part of that, and got involved with the industry right about then. And literally, I found myself, involved with this company. Was making custom boards, and the year after I started to, let's say, race for them and develop boards for them. They needed a shaper, and it happened to be that you have the right profile. I used to work with my hands since I was a kid because my father used to be a car body repairer.
Okay.
For all his life.
Yeah.
This man coming from the Second World War, no whatever to do with his hands around the house in the workshop and stuff. So I kind of were brought into the war directly, and luckily enough I could take his heritage from my family and bring it to something I really love, which is the water. I always, been driven to the ocean by nature. When I was a kid, I was always, free diving and scuba diving.
So this whole transition,
my love and passion was in the water, and so this transition of being able to actually find myself a job with this environment was just like boom, a fantastic opportunity for me. That was 1986.
So 86, you then started shaping boards.
Exactly.
Okay, and then when did it really start to explode for RRD?
Well, I was like a couple of years. I was like in the shaping room, like shaping like a madman, about 400 to 500 boards hand shaped per year. So I really learned the hard way.
Yep.
And after a couple of years, I got like not tired, but I would say I wanted to see something else. I wanted to see the world around. So it was by nature that I got involved with some of the racers around the world that were using the boards that I was shaping, and I was following them up, and I was able actually to race with them. So I went up to, around the world with these guys, and I was actually able to get a better level for myself as a windsurfer.
Yeah.
So I entered myself the competitions, and it was until 1989 that I said, you know what, I've been shipping boards for different brands, and my ships are really getting more popular.
Yeah.
So I might as well do my own thing.
Okay.
There was until 1989, which I actually founded RRD, which was based from Maui, Hawaii, where I was living by then, and Italy. And on those 2-3 years before I started actually produce production boards, I really learned it, the real international way. I was traveling, I was doing the World Cup. So it was like a real university style for me to really learn it around the world.
So really your whole life, you've been shaping boards essentially?
Pretty much, from 1986 until today, I still go in the shipping room sometimes and ship with some boards for myself.
That's fantastic. And if we come up to date, now your boards are some of the best shaped and most technical in construction boards on the market. They're absolute class leaders. And how do you feel about now having one of the top brands in the world?
Well, it's definitely rewarding. I wouldn't expect to be here if you asked me like 20 years ago, of course. Yeah. But we really work it really hard to come to this point, and I do think it's just a great opportunity for myself and the people working with me to express ourselves, our skills, and actually the Italian, what we're really proud of is actually be able to use the Italian heritage of artisanal craftsmanship, like to make a product really down to the detail properly, and combine it with performance. Not just like something looks beautiful, doesn't perform. Because I come from this background of racing, so it's like results in the end of the day is what matters, black and white. But now you see not boards, but just products in general, which are not really refined when you go racing. So my paranoia was all the time just like, we can make it look good, not only performing. So that's really...
That's one of the beautiful things I think with RRD, because you do make boards which do truly look wonderful. You've been the leader of that. I think,
thank you very much for that.
Over the last 6 years you've pulled others. You've been doing it for years, and your designs are typically Italian, which is fantastic. I think we all love that. But the other brands have now begun to realise that they can make boards which look good. I suppose you are that far ahead of it that you've already done that, and your designs are that much more in advance as far as graphically, and I think they look great. But what I'd like to do now is talk about the latest shapes, which there's some dramatic changes, isn't there?
Definitely, it's a good moment for windsurfing. There's a lot of things going on, and windsurfing nowadays with the technology and the new shapes, it's a lot easier, it's a lot more comfortable, and the approach to windsurfing is changing, and it's just great to see that.
I think you're driving this change, because with the latest shapes, which are now just we have the Fire Move, which is the new shape, the Freestyle Wave has come out, and you're bringing this new thinner, wider board, isn't it? And it's dramatically different. Until you've ridden one, you won't appreciate how much better these boards are to ride. And when did you discover this? Because it really is a genuinely new ride on the windsurfer.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago, which actually, we were always designing the new race board with our racing team. And all of a sudden, some of these race boards that were produced for a year kind of got scaled down to another family of board we call the Fire Race.
Yeah.
So we took this Fire Race board from the previous X-Fire, which is like the Formula 1 of windsurfing.
That's right.
And then we really realized that people who were using the Fire Race were really happy. Normal customer, free riders got like 2 cam sails or things that they were really blasting around, not really taking care about if they win the local competition or not, but just blasting around and comparing speed to their friends, and the feedback was always very, very good.
I would say that particular board was exceptionally fast, yet exceptionally friendly. And it was one of the first coming off slalom boards, which are kind of quite hardcore and quite unforgiving. You really have to technically ride them. That was the first board that you could put anybody on. They could feel proper locked-in speed, yet it cuddled them. It didn't. If you made a mistake, it didn't throw you off. Exactly. And you're saying that was the board that then began to get that thinking process.
Absolutely. Really open up our eyes and say, it's like, what is missing in windsurfing? It's just possibility to go to the beach and almost having 90% security you're going to be playing and enjoying the water. That's really my main focus when I talk about windsurfing today. And that type of board actually allowed us to actually throw an 8 square meter sail or a 9 square meter sail, and didn't feel uncomfortable. Lightweight on your hands. You get out there and get really up to top speed, and still throw some good jives and get this good feeling of
absolutely
doing something
which
good
is what
with
most
the water.
people want.
Exactly. So I said, why don't we actually extend this concept further, and we make it really a nice looking, more compact, more desirable type of board. It looks not like not just a pure racing board. It looks like more of a wakeboard somehow.
Okay.
Throw some of these round lines and thin rails, and that's what the beginning of the Fire Moves.
And that was the first board to come out, and that's changed everything. And just there's so much going on around RRD with these new shapes coming out. They really are exciting customers. And so what I'm going to do is bring in Andy, one of our team riders. Andy, if you come in. Roberto, I really appreciate this chat. It's been really good talking to you. But what I'd like you to do now is we'll have a talk through some of the products and tell us exactly how good these latest boards are.
Absolutely, we'll do so.
Roberto, thank you for your time and for coming across to see us.
My pleasure.
Cheers.